Okay. Hi, we're live and we are here for the post-match show of the Birmingham Phoenix versus 10 Rockets, and obviously for the women's 100 tournament. And it's a winning start for the Birmingham Phoenix at their home. Obviously, an 11-run win for them. And I think it was, I will not say it was a very convincing win, but I think the way they played in all the departments, they looked better. Obviously, Nat Shiva played a handy knock, and we can say that her fight goes went in vain, but ultimately, it all depends on the partnership. If you don't have a particular partnership that can win you a particular game, then it is very difficult for any player to win a game single-handedly. One day, 2 day it can happen, but not in a regular manner. But I think today also, I think Natshibaban could have done much better if she could have had one or two good partnerships. But I think that is where Trent Rockets batters failed to develop such a big partnership. But when they were chasing the target of 149, I think the start was good, because if you see, I think yes, I know that Grace Scrivens didn't score that much, only scored 2 runs of 8 balls. But Briony Smith had a very brilliant start. I think that is why, after 24 balls, there were 35 runs already. So, despite not having one opener going, the another opener was looking in a good touch, and that is why they got the good start also. But the things became difficult when both the openers, got dismissed, in back-to-back manner, because after the wicket of Scrivens only, Bjorn Smith also got out. And after that, if you see the scores, see Ashley Gardner scored only 2 runs, Heather Graham scored 8, Natasha Wraith 9, Emma Jones not out 9, and Anna King came at the last and remained not out at 5. And the only high score, that is Natshiba Brand 64 from 40. So there was no partnership that helped them, and that is why this is an area that where I think the Twin Rockets, face difficulties, and that is one of the main reasons that they couldn't chase down the target, because because ultimately they lost the match by 11 runs, right? Despite not having such, you know, big partnerships. So when you had batters like Ashley Gardner, Heather Graham, you expected a better show from them, because a significant amount of runs, like 15, 20 runs, could have been handy for them to win this game. So that is an area, and see, I think now this is becoming a pattern in this tournament, right? I think if you see, including today's game, I think it's been 3 games now. If you consider that Manchester Originals game also, where one team has struggled with the bat, I think that has become a problem, because obviously we have to give credit to Birmingham Phoenix bowlers also. I think they bowled brilliantly, and it was so good to see that Elisa Perry bowling. And in the pre-match show, we're discussing that if Elizabeth thinks that okay, I'm not 100% fit enough to bowl 20 balls, then maybe they can opt for Georgia Ball to bowl, because in the pre-show we are discussing that in WBBL she has bowled in 18 innings and she has picked up 10 wickets also. So we saw Georgia Ball bowling 5 balls, although Elisa Perry bowled 20 balls, so that's a very good sign. Hannah Baker bowled 15 balls. So I think there is a plan of using Georgia ball as a bowler. So that is a good sign. So ultimately there are 6 bowling options now if we consider now Georgia ball. So Elisa Perry bowling 20, Megan should bowl brilliantly. I think E. Manlot didn't look good in the first 10 balls, but the way she made a comeback in the last 10 balls, I think it was good. Because ultimately she ended up, giving 38 runs at 20. But I think if you ask me, I think in the first 10 balls she got smashed for like 20-25 runs. So I think that was a very good comeback. I know the wicket of Nat Shivaban she got in the last one. I think it was a brilliant catch. Who was the fielder that took the catch? Let me check once. Oh, okay. Taylor. Okay, Millie Taylor. Yes, Millie Taylor took the catch. Yes. Oh, what a catch! What a catch it was! And Millie Taylor herself was very surprised. After taking the catch, with her expression, you can understand that she was pretty surprised that okay, I have managed to take that catch. But I think things were never in the hand of Trent Rockers. I know that Shiva Brand was there, and there was a little hope that okay, she could win the game for them. But I think a miracle was needed, because it was not easy to smash Amy Arlott for those remaining runs in that particular over. So, but then obviously Millie Taylor took that brilliant catch, and she got out, and ultimately Trent Rockets, failed to win their opening game. But for Birmingham Phoenix, I think the most positive thing will be obviously the player of the match, Emma Lamb. What a knock she played! I think 32 balls, 55 runs. I think she played brilliantly, and I think in the pre-match show I mentioned that she has been coming with a good form in the domestic arena. If you go through the 50 over tournaments, or even the 20 over tournaments, if you see, she has been amongst the runs, and that form she carried forward in this. Okay, okay. What is no sound? No sound. Neil, can you check? Is there any sound? Any sound issue is there? Because Himadri Shekhar Chakravarti is saying no sound. I have to check. Wait. I have to check. Wait, wait. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, now I think it's fine, right, Himadri? Okay. Okay, now I can continue. So yes, what I was talking about that Imalem, I think she was brilliant, and she has carried forward that form that she was, you know, showing in the domestic arena. So that's a very good positive point because Georgia Hall, I think, got a very good start. She was looking good. I think the way she was playing the sweep shots, I think that's a pretty good. And those shots will come good for her if ultimately she gets a chance in the World Cup. Yes, yes, yes. So that is the point. Yeah, no issue, no issue. Now the all fine. Now you are getting the sound, so it's fine. So for Georgia Hall, I think she got the stat. Unfortunately, she couldn't convert that. But I think we saw the glimpse that what she can do. I think she has that power, and if she continues to bat, I think for more 15 or 20 deliveries, I think she could have changed the game completely. And that is, and for Ellis Perry, I think she will be disappointed for scoring only 14 of 13. I think she looked a bit rusty, but it's okay. The first game of the tournament you expect. But the best part, as I mentioned earlier, that she bowled 20 balls. I think that is the best part. And because after all you are considering for that World Cup and keeping an eye on that World Cup, if she's bowling, if she's batting at number three and bowling, 20 overs, being the captain of the side, I think that's a very good sign. And that shows that she is fully fit. So that's a very good sign for the Australia in the context of the World Cup. Yes, but I expected a lot from Amy Jones because if you see the performance that she delivered in the domestic arena, as Emma Lame did, okay, and obviously in the West Indies series, yes, she struggled a bit in India series against India, but still, I think the confidence that she managed to get through those knocks, I think you expected a lot from Emma Jones. I think she will be disappointed not to grab this opportunity, but again, again, I'm repeating that this is just the first match for them in this tournament. So just let's wait, at least watch one or two more games, and then I think we can pass a final judgment on them. That okay, this player's looking that she's not in the right mood or in the right frame of mind, or not in the form that she promised that she can deliver. So that is the part. But another positive for Birmingham Phoenix that despite failure of Amy Jones and all, because at one stage they were suddenly 4 for 97, 97 for 4, right? So suddenly things were looking a bit messy, and there was a chance for Trent Rockets to wrap up the game. You know, to from it was 97 for 4 in 68 deliveries. So 32 deliveries left. That was a moment that okay, you put the pressure, you keep going with that pressure, and wrap up them quickly within 120 or 130, and then that could have helped. But ultimately, they ended up scoring 148 thanks to Elisa Lister and Mary Kelly. I think the knocks that they played extremely huge, extremely important runs they scored. 21 runs unbeaten, 21 from 17 from Lister, and obviously from Kelly, 23 of 10 with four boundaries. I think superb, 230 strike rate. I think that was fantastic contribution from both of them, and that helped them only to reach nearly to the 150 run mark, and that ultimately proved so vital for them winning the match by 11 runs. So again. in a tournament like 100 balls, or maybe in the shorted format of the game, be it T20, you can mention the T20 games also. I think the contribution, small contribution but impactful, are very much needed. No one is expecting every batter or every big name batter who are more established like Elisa Peggy and all, Amy Jones. No one is expecting that they should score every day, 50, 60, 70, 80. That is not needed. But at least score 30, 40, but that too in a very less deliveries, because that will put a serious impact on the scoreboard, and that will help your team to get a big start and keep and maintain a good run rate, a higher run rate, and that will help. And if you ask me, for Trent Rockets, I think mm, I think two things that they need to work on. I think going forward in the tournament. First, I will say that the opportunity was there with the ball. What I mentioned at 97.4. So you have to take those opportunities. Otherwise, the game will go away. And that only happened today. And secondly, with the batters, I think a lot better show is expected from the batting unit. Obviously, Nancy Urban score runs. It is expected that she will score run, but again, you have to think that not every day she will scoring this kind of run, and it is normal thing for any batters. That so for everyone, you need to chip in, and obviously the way Bruno Smith started, that's a positive thing, but she also needs to convert those stats. You cannot get out after scoring 29, after scoring 29 of 19, right? Especially when you saw that your opening partner just got out, you have to put more value to your wicket, because you got the start, you are already settled in the middle, a new batter is coming and you are chasing a target. I think that is where your responsibility becomes more higher, and you have to cash in and you have to continue your innings. So that is why I think these small areas that they need to work. And as I always say, that in a tournament like 100, the time is very less. You have to make instant comeback in the next game. Otherwise, things will be things will go more wrong to your side, and you might get lost in the path of the eliminator, or maybe for the final. So that's the thing. Okay, after this win, okay, after this win, Superchargers. Okay, Birmingham Phoenix are in the fourth place with 4 points as one game, obviously, but with a net run rate of plus 0.550. Yes, just a small margin of 11 run that they have managed to win. So that is why only a positive net run rate of plus 0.550. Obviously, Northern Superchargers registered a huge win, and obviously they are in the top spot. They are in the top spot with a net run rate of plus 2.350. In the second spot, there are London Spirit, the defending champions, obviously, and third for the Southern Brave. So that is a table looks like as of now. Okay, is there any comment? Then we can take those comments. No, as of now there is no such comments regarding the game. If it comes, we'll take. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up around 20 minutes. But along with this, I want to also tell that another match is going. Okay, that second T20 between Pakistan and Ireland women is going on. And today Pakistan batted brilliantly. I think in the first innings they batted and they put and has managed to score 168 for 6 in 20 overs. That's a huge total, I will say. That's a huge total. And while chasing 169, currently Ireland looking a bit worried. 61 for 3 in 10 overs. Things are looking not good for the home side. But you understand, I think while you are chasing 169 against a quality bowling side of Pakistan, especially considering the spinners they have, I think it will be difficult. And I think that is the difficulties that they are facing right now. Okay, and if you see for Pakistan, see, no one scored 60, 70, or 50 also, even. But the best part that happened with Pakistan today, that all top five batters chipped in with 20s, 30s, and that helped them to get that total. And that is what I was saying, that for Trent Rockets, what happened? One batter's got a good start, fantastic. Brian Smith, 29 of 19. Your main batter, England's keeper, Nat Shipperburn scored a brilliant 64. That's also fine. But what about the others? Others also chipped in. I am not saying with 40, 50, 60. At least chipped in with 20, 25, 30s of like 10, 15, 18 balls. So that can help the opposition batter, the batter that is batting at the opposite end. that will help Nat Shiverman, for someone like Nat Shiverman, to have some pressure of, okay, that guy also hitting the ball, so that will help Nat Shiverman also going forward. So I think a partnership is very much needed, and that is where Trent Rocket lacked today, and ultimately they lost the game. But one thing good happened today for me, for Shirish also, that we predicted that Birmingham Phoenix will win. And the way our prediction was going for the last 2 3 days, we were a bit worried that okay, we might jinx the win for Birmingham Phoenix, but ultimately they ended up winning because on paper they were looking a bit ahead. And I think that is why I will say that deservingly they have won the match, and they looked as a better, well balanced side in all the department, not on paper, on the field also. And uh, and with the ball, as I mentioned, that everyone chipped in, especially the way Im Alert came back. I think that will give her a huge boost, because it can happen with any player. That okay, for any batter it can happen. For example, Meg Lanning was bit rushed at the start. She came back and she managed to score those runs, and managed, ultimately ended up with a very good strike rate. Same happened with Nat Shivabrand today also. Yes, Nat Shivabrand batted brilliantly, scored 64. All I can understand. But if you see the start, I think the start could have been a little better. I know the quality the type of batter she is. She is an anchor type batter. She is not someone that okay, it's a 100 ball game. I will come and hit the ball for six. That is not the thing. I will go to the middle, and from the ball one I will go for the six. That is not the type of batter she is. She is one type of a batter that she will go and take some time and anchor the innings. So I think that was the initial plan, but the way wickets keep tumbling, from the other end, I think in the end she needed to go for the big shot, and she did. And for some point she was successful also, but ultimately I think a little bit better it could have been the start of her innings, but ultimately she ended up scoring good runs at a good pace. So in the end, it was the lack of partnership that costed Trent Roberts. So that is a part that they need to work. Otherwise, I think everything is looking not so gloomy, I will say, after just first match of the tournament. Again, I am saying just one match of the tournament has happened for him or for any other teams that have played so far. So we cannot make a final judgment that okay, this team looking fantastic for a finals, for having a direct qualification for final, or maybe for the eliminator. Or we cannot say okay, this team is not looking that good, they might not even be in the race for the eliminator or for the final. So just one match happened. Let's wait for another 1 or 2 matches, and after that I think we can discuss in the pre-match. I think Shivaraj, I think, was there, asking that top 10 run getters, top 10 bowlers, or maybe who can win the tournament. And as I mentioned, that okay, on paper, I think there are so many, quality batters, bowlers participating in this tournament, so they can, you know, be in that race of being the top run scorer, top wicket takers. But let take some time. Let give them some time. Give all the team some time. Let's them play at least 2 or 3 games, and after that, I think we can discuss all this thing. Okay, these players are looking good. These players are not looking good. Be it a batter, be it as a bowler, and obviously teams that are looking good and looking ahead in the race for the playoffs. I mean, for the final, and obviously for the eliminator. So that is the thing. Okay, is there any comment? Otherwise, I will wrap it up because I think I have discussed all the thing. Yes, okay. There is no such comment. As I mentioned, that Pakistan are looking favorites to win the game, and if they win this game ultimately, then the series is alive, because the three-match T20I series, Ireland won the first T20I, and I think for Pakistan, I think an instant comeback is loading, and then with this win, it will be 1-1, and obviously then the series decider will happen. So let's see what happens. We'll definitely will come back for tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow is a double-headed day. So what we'll do, we'll come as we'll come for the pre-match show and in that show we'll discuss for both the matches. Okay, as pre-match discussion, we'll discuss both the matches. Obviously, Trishadi has told me that she is trying her best to be there, so hopefully she will be there. So me and Trishadi will be there to discuss both the matches in the pre-match show, and then we'll come directly after the end of the second match to discuss both the matches as the post-match discussion. So that's the plan. Hopefully, as you guys have been joining so far in this 100 tournament with us, hopefully you guys will join tomorrow also, and let's have a chat then. Until then, take care. Thank you and good night.